I'm going to talk a minute about defining moments. Defining moments are the things that happen in our life that change us. In working the fourth step of ACA, doing your laundry list inventory, that is coming up with your defining moments. And I think defining moments are kind of like tinting your sunglasses. If you grow up in a world where everything is wonderful, you see the world clearly. However, when you grow up in a world where there's dysfunction, that becomes the tint on your sunglasses of which you see the world. So you could say, my parents did the best they could. And then your boss calls you into their office one day. And because you process things through the area of which you were abused, maybe from this high, you don't think, what does my boss want to talk about? You think, holy crap, what did I do now? What's going on with me? Or if you are rebellious, you go in there with your dukes up. They have nothing on me. I'm going to go in there, I'm prepared. I'm ready for the fight. It's not about your parents. They did the best they could. So this is where the healing has to happen. The healing can't happen in the adult. It has to happen in the inner child. Recently, I was invited into a friend of mine's home. I grew up with a friend in my local neighborhood, hadn't seen him since 6th grade, reconnected a couple years ago on Facebook, and actually have become much better friends nowadays with his sister. And I was driving by the old neighborhood a couple months ago, and his mother was out in front, and I hadn't seen her in over 40 years. So I stopped the car, ran out, said hello to her. She invited me into the house. It was a wonderful reunion, but it was interesting because I looked around the room and I said, this room is much smaller than I remember it to be. Okay? Our perception changes when we get older, but the original perception and the original rooms are as they are. So that's why we have to go to that point to heal them. Another thing that keeps us from healing is fear. A lot of people have fear in losing their identity. I was in a college class years ago, and the teacher asked for a volunteer and went up to the student and said, I'm going to wave a magic wand over your head, and all your issues are going to go away in an instant. She had a panic attack right there in the middle of the class. Stop! She says, don't do that. I have no idea. Tears coming down her face. I have no idea who I would be if you took away all my dysfunction. Okay? We're afraid of discovering who we are. The secret for you guys, you can be whoever you want to be. That's the cool thing about recovery. Got to move past that fear. Some people have the fear of change. Some people have the fear of losing the family's loyalty. I'm not going to spend Christmas with you this year because you guys are crazy. You guys drink too much, so I'm going to spend Christmas somewhere else. The fear that your family is going to cut you off, okay, keeps us immobilized. Loss of our identity, loss of our affiliations.